it's Mel with Gulf Coast Driveshaft. I'm here today to explain and talk about a new machine we recently purchased here in our shop. This is a Coates balancer. It's a Shaft Expert 3000. We bought this machine because it's a little more detailed. It goes to a higher RPM. We're able to do more intricate balancing on this drive shaft, but the best part about this machine is that when we're done balancing, we can actually print a report to send with the drive shaft to our customers to let them know that their drive shaft is actually balanced in tolerance, and there's no question that they're getting a perfectly balanced drive shaft. We do have another machine that we use called the Westport. That's for the less horsepower, Jeep, stuff like that. I'm gonna bring Shane in here. He's gonna help me explain to you the difference between the two machines that we have and the reason why we ended up coming up to this one to deal with our aluminum and our carbon fiber drive shafts. You can come on in here. I mean, like, why are you hiding over there? You seem like you're hiding.
Not hiding. I wasn't hiding. Hey, everyone.
So we're gonna kind of go through, honestly, we're gonna balance this drive shaft here. We're gonna explain to you what he's doing, and then when we're done, we're gonna show you the report that actually will come with every drive shaft. But I think maybe before we actually start on here, maybe you can just do a small little thing.
Yes, ma'am.
On the Westport.
Yes, ma'am. So anyways, for starters, it's a Shaft Expert 300, not 3000 now.
Oh my gosh.
So if you want to step over here, so this machine was our first, actually our second balancer. We have our first balancers over there. It's a large, heavy-duty machine, semi-shafts, seal shafts, so on. We found that machine sometimes would not pick up vibrations from aluminum drive shafts. They're so much lighter. Aluminum drive shafts take a lot more finesse. So we purchased this new Westport machine. It's been a fantastic machine, but like Mel said, we've had some issues with some high-speed vibrations. We came to the realization that we think our machine just doesn't spin fast enough. I think this machine, what did we say, spins
2,800.
2,800
yeah.
RPM. Mm-hmm. As you can see, the machine is not bolted to the floor. It just sits on the floor. It's got the open bearing floating heads on it, which do work nice, but again, it just doesn't spin fast enough. So after doing a lot of research, Mel and I found the Coates machine up in Wisconsin. A company had purchased it brand new, had only used it maybe a half a dozen times, realized they didn't want to be drive shaft builders. So we put in an offer and purchased this new machine. This new machine has the ability to spin to 5,000 RPM. We generally, what we've seen is the balance on aluminum and carbon fiber shafts, what they call the half critical, is generally between 3,500 and 4,500 RPM. Which this machine is capable of. I have been training myself on it for the last few weeks, have got everything nailed down, and I've been spinning, like I said, some of these shafts I've had spinning up to 4,500 RPM with my tolerances set very, very tight because on these cars, the drive shaft RPM is so much more. Gearing is different, power levels are higher. So we had to come up, like Mel said, with a solution to ensure when we ship these drive shafts out that you're getting a perfectly balanced drive shaft. And this machine is our holy grail. We are very excited to have it. Like I said, that machine has open bearing floating heads. This machine has floating heads, but as you can see, the bearing design is completely different. The bearings are much larger. They're completely enclosed, sealed bearings. The heads are actually floating down here off of the side panels. So the accuracy on this machine is so much more. The Westport machine uses dial indicators to identify vibrations. This machine is all done through electronics and through our screen. So I've got this drive shaft is our Trackhawk, correct?
Yep.
This is our aluminum Trackhawk one-piece conversion. It mounts in just like it would in the vehicle. If you notice, we have adapters, hookups on here. The flanges go into the hookups as if it would into your vehicle. Simply have the 6 bolts on transmission end. 8 bolts are actually studs on the differential end, and the drive shafts mounted in.
This also comes in a carbon fiber option as well.
Yeah, we do offer all of our drive shafts. I think all of them, right?
Yeah,
are offered
except for the pickup trucks. I don't have that.
Yeah,
I don't have that quite figured out in the.
Yeah, street cars.
Oh, T-Rex.
High performance
We do T-Rex
racing.
in the carbon fiber, but.
Yeah, but most of your high performance racing applications, you can get an aluminum, or I mean, you can get a steel option too, but most people just don't want steel anymore. They're heavy. It's kind of old technology. But anyways, like I said, this bolts in just like it would in your vehicle. I'm gonna start getting the machine set up. So it's a pretty simple machine to operate. Down here we've got our controls and speed for the motor, our emergency shut-off switch. Pretty much everything else is done up here in the monitor. So what I've done is we have what they call rotor indexes. So when we build a new drive shaft, we basically load a rotor index in there for future, so we don't have to load it every time. So I go into rotor index, and I can find we're working the TRX is a 1350 series 4-inch tube.
That's a. You got your brain going too. That's a Trackhawk, not a T-Rex.
Okay, let me start over. So the Trackhawk shaft is a 1350 4-inch diameter tube, as you can see. So I'll basically go through the list, find my 1350 series 4-inch aluminum, and I click on that rotor index, and I'm going to load that rotor into the computer. And now all my settings are loaded in, and we're ready to do calibration. Over here is tolerances. I can set my tolerances. As you can see, I have them very low, 0.08.
Do you know what a traditional like tolerance, kind of accepted tolerance is?
I have seen
the drive shaft industry.
I have seen some articles. I think one company was using a 0.25, I believe. 0.20 or a 0.25.
So you're really honing this in.
I am really low on the tolerances. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it's very frustrating because that's a very tough tolerance to hit. I may be in here for a while, but it's the only way I'll accept it. That's the way we want to ship them out. Because again, I don't want customers to have vibration issues. We go to a lot of events, we set up tents, we're talking to customers. Probably 90% of what we get is, well, I've tried aftermarket shafts, and I had vibrations. So that's when Mel and I, like I said, decided we have to come up with a way to ensure that the customers don't have vibrations. Not only do they have a good product that's not going to come apart, but they don't have vibrations. And we have sent quite a few drive shafts out of this machine to customers, and we've got feedback, and they said absolutely beautiful. One customer, I hate to get off track here, but one customer was in Las Vegas, ordered a Cadillac one-piece drive shaft from us. We sent it out to him. He got it put in the car. He actually called us and said, "This thing is beautiful." And we said, "Well, that's awesome. That's what we want." He said, "Well, all of my CTS friends in Las Vegas said these shafts won't work in these cars." And my son said, "Well," he says, "chances are they probably didn't have the right drive shaft." Because we have hundreds, thousands of these things out there running, and when they're done properly, they're balanced properly, they will work. There are going to be some cases where a car has a lot of modifications, maybe the suspension's too rigid, you're going to feel a little bit. A couple of our customers have actually said that, but understand that they're going to have a little bit because of the modifications they did.
Right.
But there should be no major vibrations whatsoever. So to get back on track,
yes.
so like I said, we're loaded in. What I've got to do is I've got to do an initial calibration every time I balance a drive shaft. And basically what I'm doing is I'm going to spin it up, let the machine know what the drive shaft, where the drive shaft is with no weight on it. I'm going to put a weight on the left side and spin it up, and that's called the left weight effect that I'm capturing. I'm going to take that same weight off, put that same weight at the other end. Of course, it's a 0.37 weight, always put it 0 degrees. I'm going to spin it on the right side, pick up that effect, and then we're ready to go into balance. The machine's going to know what it is without weight, what it is with this amount of weight at 0, and that's what's going to tell me how much weight I need and where I need it when I start the balance. And when I say degrees, I show you this real quick. When I say degrees, we have a degree wheel here on the head of the machine. So this degree wheel is what it's reading and what it's going to tell me the location on the drive shaft of the weights once we spin it. So let me go ahead and start the calibration. We'll spin it about 2,000, 2,200 RPM for calibration. Our RPM is right up here at the top corner of the machine, so I'll take that up around the 2,000 range, and I'm going to do an average. Watch for this number to slow down. Oh, take that back. I forgot to reset the machine. Apologize, guys. You can see that number slows down, and we're going to hit next. And then we're going to install our 0.37 ounce at 0. Yeah, this machine is really awesome, and it's actually very fun to operate, especially when you can hit that 4,000, 4,500 RPM mark and be in the green. So we'll spin it up again, same RPM. And again, we're watching this number to settle down. And then we'll move to the...
That was a drive shaft in the background came out of the vise.
Now we'll do the same thing to the right side. Again, same RPM. I don't change the RPM. And the calibration's done. We're ready to start balancing. So I'll remove this weight. So down here in the corner, basically we're going to save our calibration and go into balance mode. So we'll go into this corner. So we've got our balance mode set up. So when the drive shaft spins, these needles are going to be moving, and you can see they've got the numbers just like the degree wheel. And this is what, like I said, what's going to tell me how much weight and where the weight needs to be added. I'll start it at probably about 3,600 RPM. Unfortunately, as much as I hate to wear these things, I'm probably going to have to put on my old man glasses. Now I've got my numbers. I'm going to hit the hold button, and it holds this reading for me. And then I can start adding weight. A lot of times you'll notice it's calling for 1.20 on the left plane. It's not unusual. Of course, these two pieces are broached spline that goes together. So it's not unusual to have a little bit of run out. It's very hard to get a perfect broach. So a lot of times on this end you may see a little bit more weight, but that's what the balancer is for. This is what's going to smooth everything out. You can see how far the needles were out. If we get to the end, I think you'll be pretty shocked to see the end result. So it's at 196. So we're going to go 196. And this weight here is a 0.71. I like to actually start a little bit lower and add weight because, like I said, the aluminums are very finicky. So sometimes the weight they're showing on there, I'll put on, it's too much weight. So sometimes I start with a smaller weight, spin it up, see how the needle reacts, if I need to move that weight a little bit, or if I just need to add more. So we're starting down here at the bottom. You can see how much that end has come in just from one weight. So I will hit, and this end, it brought this end in because of course we're taking a lot of vibration out of the left side. So of course it affects the right side. So it has brought it almost into the green already. So we'll click that hold again. And 207, so we're right in the same vicinity of the first weight. So we just tape these weights on. Once we get the drive shaft balanced out, this will go over to the welder, and Dino, Dave, or Jordan will weld these weights on. They'll remove the tape, they'll weld these weights on, and then the drive shaft's done. So obviously the front is very happy with that. I'm out a little bit in the rear, so I'm going to hold again. And I'm going to go to the rear. 63. And as you can see, this end is not calling for very much weight. I think this is a 0.09 is all I'm adding on to this end, which indicates a very, very accurate weld. So a lot of times if it's asking for more weight, maybe this wasn't welded perfectly straight. When we do our welding, we dial indicate in the welder straightener over there. We try to get to 0 or at least within a few thousandths is all. So when you see a small weight like that, it's an indication that the welds are very close. So spin her up one more time. And voila. So we're at 3,600 RPM, so I'm going to take this up to probably about 4,000. So I went a little bit out there. I'm going to try to bring that in. 294. Still too much weight. So what's happening is when the needle goes out like that, I basically need to move the weight. So it's asking for it at 241. So what I need to do, and this is where, unfortunately, you're only going to get this with experience. Voila. So at 4,000 RPM, we're at a 0.08 tolerance. Both numbers are in the green. Everything is steady. So I'm going to save this final reading. So now that the drive shaft is balanced, like Mel had said before, we can print out a balance report. So I'm going to go into balance report. And for job number, I'm just going to put track hawk. And customer name is stock. And notes is a 1350 series 4-inch. So we hit print and save report. And that's going to print up in our office. I think Mel just ran up to grab the sheet. She's going to bring it right back. We'll show you exactly what it prints out and what you're going to receive when you get your drive shaft. Oh, here she comes now.
So like, were you just trying to show off, or you what? Because I like see that you got this like right on the money in the back. That's not not too shabby there.
Yeah, I'm not to toot my own horn, but getting pretty good at this machine.
So with this report, a lot of this stuff is really probably you won't understand, but it'll have your name here, tell you what the drive shaft was, what we balanced, and this is pretty much just showing that it's within tolerance on both sides. Ran at 4,013 RPM. That RPM is drive shaft speed, by the way, not engine speed. I don't know if that was mentioned, but that's drive shaft speed. So this drive shaft is perfectly balanced. We send one of these balancing reports with every single aluminum and carbon fiber performance drive shaft that we build and balance. One thing I did want to mention though, about the Westport machine, we do still use the Westport every single day. It's one of our favorite machines. We use it mostly for Jeeps and OEM applications, like
repairs,
Chevy trucks,
steel shafts, and all aluminum and carbon fibers.
Performance.
Are done in this machine and are the only drive shafts done in this machine because we don't want this machine to get abused. We have the old balancer over there
for heavy duty
for heavy duty drive shafts, semi drive shafts. Like I said, we'll put the steel ones in here. That way our machine stays clean, new, accurate for performance and racing drive shafts.
I hope you guys found this interesting.
I hope you find it interesting. Again, any questions, feel free. Hit us up in the comments. You could always shoot us an email. We appreciate everybody watching. Be sure to
like,
subscribe,
share on all social media, not just on YouTube.
Not just YouTube, but
on
check
all
us out.
media.
Check us out on all social media platforms. We appreciate you watching.